Dan has been doing not a lot. It's been a Christmas break. Dan needed a Christmas break, and by that I mean I certainly needed one, and then I fell a little bit ill. But it's fine, we can continue, and in fact Dan has been on a live stream recently, whereupon we managed to get a very important glaive mod. I got the mod I need for the glaive there? Oh, yes! Ah, today is great! Today is absolutely great! So that is absolutely wonderful. If we have a look at the state of our glaive now, we go to our Zoras here. With Astral Twilight in, I have now got a full set of 8 mods. Granted, some ranking up needs to be done, some better mods need to be obtained, but this is already looking like a very beautiful setup for Dan to be using. Zoras is definitely a bit of a powerhouse now. If you do happen to check out that stream, you may also see some other clips throughout the stream, including one which was very decidedly not Warframe. We had a bit of an interlude. Gara's down, Gara's down, Gara's down, give me that. Yeah, it turns out, if someone gives me the opportunity to kill a Warframe in another game, you know I'm going to take that. And that is exactly why I also made Warframes as D&D monsters. I'll pop the link in the video description for that one. But the next thing for Dan is we need to be continuing on with the main quest line, because we're not going to get to Steel Path without it. And the very next main quest is Rising Tide. Let's get started with that. This is Dan, a lone Tenno with a quest to defeat the Murmur. I'm Nick Engineer, let's go zero to hero. To face a growing threat, a long dormant Cephalon calls on you to reconstruct an Orokin era interceptor craft, the Railjack. Let us begin.
Online. Crew. Dax. My crew is gone. Tenno. You will do. Awaiting dry dock integration.
Well, let's see then. We need an Orokin cell, we got that. Filter samples, Detonite ampules, mutagen samples, we've got all of this good stuff. Let's get that built straight away, absolutely. We need to grab the Railjack Cephalon. Now, just whilst that does spend the next few seconds loading up, I do want to point out where we're at as well, in that I now also have access to Dragon Keys. Because the dojo has finally gone through the necessary build steps, I can start construction of those and farming up those very, very necessary corrupted mods. So we've got that along the way to look forward to as well. But aside from that, Railjack Cephalon, completely built. Let's see what this is about. Install Cephalon Psi in the dry dock. Now what I'm hoping is that it'll say, yes, please use a dry dock in a relay. And yes it is. Good. I don't have to build one in my clan dojo. That would have been expensive. Let us advance to the dry dock. I think I can fast travel there, can't I? Yes I can. Even better. Plug it in.
Tenno, I am Cephalon Psi. You will refer to me as such.
Okay then.
The sentient threat has learned from past defeat. Reforming. Rebuilding. We must rebuild to contain that threat. We will reconstruct an Old War era Sigma series Railjack. A Railjack requires a viable command Cephalon. I am not a viable command Cephalon. I will identify a viable replacement. But first, recover the wreckage. Then, assembly. Return to your orbiter.
Returning to orbiter. Let's do that. It gives us an option over there. We can just, leave.
Tenno, that wreckage will not recover itself. Coordinates marked.
Let's load on in. Recover the Railjack fuselage. Alright.
Fuselage. From the Vidar School. Stay in close proximity while I scan it.
Alrighty. We have got our Spore Laser, which absolutely slaps. Oh, we are being interfered with.
Scan interrupted.
Well, that one's down easily enough. Hi there. Bye.
Drones down. Back to it.
Having the appropriate gear for the mission certainly helps out.
Well executed.
Tenno, your assistance is required in the dry dock.
Yep, let us return to the dry dock. One piece obtained.
Have not seen a railjack in some time. There is work to be done. This fuselage requires repair.
Good news is, we have our credits. We have our cubic diodes. We have our plastids. We have our rubido. But we do not have all of the neural sensors. We only have one, and these are only found on Jupiter, apparently, at least at this stage of the game. Let's contribute what we have.
Well done.
And obtain the rest.
Continues apace.
Okay, it's been a very long time since I've farmed on this particular mission, but it's what we have access to, and it's where we need to be. So Dan is now the one farming here. Still none. Okay. I'm hoping that'll change. If not, I may want a different strategy. We'll give it another 5 waves. But so far I am looking at none, which is not great. Still nothing. I think. Oh wait, no, wait, what? Oh, I just didn't notice. I got 3 of them. Excellent. Where did they come from? There we are. Got everything we came for. Specifically, we've got the neural sensors. How many in the end? Yeah, still just a 3. Contribute.
Reconstruction begins.
Okay, that'll be done in 2 minutes. Whilst we wait for that to complete, let's have a look at what we'll need to build a dry dock in the Clan Dojo, because my understanding is that a dry dock in the Clan Dojo allows us to research better equipment for the railjack. So how accessible is that to me? Let's go to a room at the far back side here. Insufficient space to put in the dry dock. We'd need to extend that further. It'll also require tellurium, 15 of which we have 9. Circuits and salvage shouldn't be a problem. Former we can handle. But that tellurium, that is a big ask, and we'd need to give it some space first. Can we do it from the door I think is over here? Yes. Okay, so I could put that down, but that tellurium, that is going to be a cost to get. And then there's going to be the cost of the actual researches and constructions of the weapons and features. I will look into that and see if that is worth our time. Okay, having had a look, the dry dock might be more than a little bit too expensive right now. For example, in order for me to be able to get the Photon Mark 1, which is then required for the Photon Mark 2, and then the Photon Mark 3, I would require 2,159 circuits. Now if I have a quick look at my circuits here, I've got 4,072. So it looks like, yep, that's very affordable. Except that's just the Photor. If I then have a look at the Sigma Engines Mark 1, 2,159 circuits. If I have a look at the Sigma Reactor 1, 2,159 circuits. What about the Sigma Shield Array, 2,159 circuits? Near enough all the items, not all of them, but near enough all of them, use the same set of construction requirements. And each of them end up requiring thousands of something which I have in the thousands, but multiple times over, I can't afford that. So for the time being, investing into that would be a little too much for me. So we'll set focus for now on just recovering the propulsion system. And here we go, we're on our next location.
The most advanced ever produced. Orgone accumulator. Blown. Etheric condenser. Vaporized. Viable. Keno, you are needed in the dry dock.
Heading on down, my guy. Heading on down.
Hunter, do not waste your time with this idiot Cephalon, spewing corrupt data streams about music of all things. The epitome of meaningless data. She ought to be disconnected from the weave and erased.
I don't think that is even slightly relevant to what I'm doing right now. Alright then. Credits, carbides, cryotic, organelle, nanospores, contribute, go.
Reconstruction begins.
That'll be done in 2 minutes. Whilst we're here, over at this console, is there anything we can get out of it? Okay, not yet, never mind. We'll be back to this in just one moment. In the meantime, how's it going with Nightwave? Formers! Ah, that's a beautiful thing to receive. Whilst we're here, let's have a look at the credit offerings in terms of any auras worth grabbing hold of. These are not aura mods, they are just various weapon mods, and we don't need any of those. I could pick up Rejuvenation, but it's really not that great. We've already got Physique and Dreamer's Bond, and Sniper Scavenger, no. There is also the Glaive, but we have the Zoras, which is just superior. I could take this opportunity to grab the Ceramic Dagger. Ooh, that is really tempting given the long-term viability of such a weapon and difficulty of getting it again on demand. You know what? Sure, it can also be Mastery. Let's grab that. Up next, let's recover the Port Nacelle. Well, would you look at that? I have accidentally completed the challenge. Thanks for the reward, Stealth Drift. I don't think I need that one, but I have it.
Viable.
Got it.
Tagging for retrieval. Extract. Tenno. My precepts. I am not a viable command cephalon. I will continue my search. Continue repairs.
Okay. We spend more of our credits, more carbides, more circuits, more alloy plate, and these control modules. It's a good thing I wasn't planning on using these down at the dojo. We're going to need them right here.
Commencing restoration. You will be contacted upon completion.
Excellent. Whilst that continues construction, I would like to focus on these dragon keys. So if we search this down just for dragon, let's claim these ones acquired right here. And I've got plenty of void traces and ferrite left to build another set. These are going to be invaluable in terms of making sure I can farm up those Orokin vaults and get hold of those corrupted mods. Let's go get the starboard nacelle. Now if this requires another 10 circuits, I'm going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Integral fission tanks ruptured. Otherwise, fine.
Credits in, carbides in, circuits in, alloy in. Ah. Europa, Neptune, and the Void. Okay. I think I'll take a trip to the Void to get some more. Absolutely, ready to defend. This is a nice, lovely large amount of enemies. We should get plenty of resource pickup opportunities. And look, we've got a control module already. There we go. Any more control models? No. That's fine. We've cleared another node off of the star chart. That in itself is a reward. And we did get one control module. One. So now we can move on to the sabotage. With the way sabotages go, I don't expect this will give me much in the way of resources, but you never know, I may get a control module or two. But let's at least clear out the node, because that also gets us towards the steel path. I've lost track of the control modules, 10 of them. Oh, brilliant. Considering we need 10 to build the thing, that's basically just paid the entire lot in one mission. That mobile defense really was just nothing. I've only got 143 kills. It's from looting the map. The very, very big aspect of this game is that the more you play, the more resources you have, and you need the resources to do the things. It's not a game where you could just kind of snap your fingers and have whatever you want, unless you're willing to put money down entirely. And even then, some things you just have to do the work.
You will be contacted upon completion.
Excellent. Let's leave out of that. Farming is necessary one way or the other. Whether you farm your real world job, buy some platinum and trade for your items, or you just get in the game and, well, play the game. That's why we're here, right? Play games. There we go.
Our enemy rebuilds itself ceaselessly. We must have that railjack. Dorsal stabilizers, salvageable. Cogitators, viable. Marking for recovery.
We have all the resources, including the very ephemeral argon crystals. I picked up 8 of them. That'll be done in a minute. Recheck where we're at. Is there anything else I can construct? Ready to build. We have bits and pieces of various Warframe parts, but nothing too important to all of that. I could go ahead with the Nyx pieces. As we've seen, these resources are somewhat necessary elsewhere at the moment. The same is true of building these additional weapons. As much as I could build them, general mastery farming isn't the biggest deal for me right now. We're focused on a very different process. I could even build the former, but because it would use my last neural sensor, I don't want to risk that right now. Let's see where we're at in terms of the mission before I do that. On to the engine cowling. And here we have this location.
Engine cowling. You know what to do. Structural integrity. within required tolerances. Marking for recovery. Cephalon orders. Time for pickup. All known cephalons surveyed. None conform to tactical parameters. None possess necessary astrogation poetics. None possess a comprehensive warfighting database. Viable cephalons. Nil.
Well, that doesn't sound good. Let's contribute our resources. Credits. Diodes. Ampules. Ferrite. Salvage. We've got all of that, thank goodness. 3 minutes on that one.
Begins. You have a railjack. Tenno, all records of my mission have been purged from the weave. Why, I do not know. I had a crew. I must accept sole responsibility for their deaths. Conclusion, I am non-viable. But I am the only railjack-compatible cephalon. The sentients have almost rebuilt. Conclusion, I am, under the circumstances, a viable command cephalon. If you will have me.
Oh, absolutely. Sai, please be our command cephalon. Ta-da! Rising Tide quest complete. Having unlocked Railjack, I went out and immediately did a Railjack mission to see what rewards Dan could achieve.
Cruise ship has gone bye-bye. Sector secured.
Plexus is ranking up. We're also ranking up the Imperator and Odonata, which is nice to have. We're getting intrinsics, resources, and a Vidar Shield Array Mark 1 to repair. So we currently have a 1000 shield capacity shield array. This would give us 1268, which is an improvement. Repair cost would be a bunch of credits, one of my comms, all of my Gallus rods and then some. Titanium I just don't have, and half my cubic diodes. You know what? For the sheer cost of that, to gain 268 shield capacity, I think that can wait. Let us instead look at our intrinsics. Can we use these to improve on our situation? Well, we can use all of our 3 intrinsics, that is very much not 7. Could have sworn it said 7. Could seriously swear it said 7. 7! There is some math going on there, and it is not mathing. I feel a little bit cheated. Oh well, 3 is what we get. One of the most valuable of those things, I think, will be to get a crew member to help us out on the repairs of the Railjack. So let's invest 1 point into that straight away. Out of these options, and with 2 intrinsics available to us, I'm not going to spend both of them in a competency gain. I think having the ability to move faster and lead my shots more accurately are the correct choices for these very first ones. We can get plenty more as and when. This will also provide us with mastery, similar to ranking up weapons, without having to actually rank up the weapons, which is just a benefit.
You have a railjack, but you need a crew.
This I cannot afford. This I cannot afford. This I cannot afford. This I cannot afford. This I can afford. Can afford and can't afford. So it's between these two. Unless I go get more resources. This one's got piloting with a little bit of combat and endurance. But this one has got gunnery and repair with a little bit of endurance. Gunnery and repair with a little bit of endurance really is exactly what I need. Let's fast travel to the dry dock. Activate this. Open up the crew panel. And there we go. Let's assign them a basic role. I want them normally as an engineer defending the ship. That's their basic role. It's perfectly fine for them, and we can equip them with a weapon. You know what? We have this kit gun. It's probably going to absolutely slap. Well, would you look at that? We've done enough Railjack that it's now time to rank up. Okay.
A formidable performance. This test is now complete. Mission complete.
So it appears I've hit a little bit of a snag. You see, I was going through the Railjack missions. We've completed all of the ones around Earth Proxima. I was getting some nice resources. And I've completed the ones around Venus Proxima, except I haven't. I've completed this one, and this one. These other 3 don't show. And it seems that the reason for that is because the next one would be an Orphix mission. Orphix requires the ability to use an Ekmech, which itself requires that you be able to transfer. So until Dan completes The War Within, this next bit of Railjack is locked away from us. I guess that is what Dan is going to have to start on to next time. For now, Dan has unlocked his spaceship, he is one step closer to the new war, and one step closer to defeating the Murmur. I'll catch you in the next one.